This video demonstrates basic audio effects in Audacity. I have a sound file here that I've extracted from a field recording. And what I'd like to do is take this sound file as a source, add some effects, and then export the affected sound as a new sound file. I'm going to use Audacity for this. So to open up this file in Audacity, I'm going to Control-click on the file, go Open With, and then select Audacity. There's the file. To add effects in Audacity, simply select any of the plugins from the Effect menu. Note that any effects above this line are effects that come standard with Audacity, and any effects below this line are effects that are installed on the particular computer that Audacity is running on, and are third-party plugins. So for example, let's start off by reversing this sound. And you can see that any effects that we add, or any changes that we make with the effects menu, are going to be reflected in the waveform. However, that data isn't stored until we go ahead and actually save our file or re-export our file. Next, I might like to just change the pitch of this file. And I can just use this slider here and then press preview to hear what the affected sound will sound like. Certain effects, like echo, delay, and reverb, will add a tail to the sound. What you'll find is that Audacity will not automatically generate space in the sound file to accommodate that tail. One way to overcome this problem is to click on the end of the sound file, go to Generate, go to Silence, and generate, say, 10 seconds worth of silence. If I then zoom out, we can see that we have the original sound on the left-hand side here, and then all of this space here to accommodate a tail that an effect may generate. So if I then go up to Effect, select Echo, and just make a short echo that will keep repeating and repeating for quite a while. I could then preview that. Hit OK. And there we've got our new sound. Note that the original length of the file was approximately that long. And after that point in time, we've got our tail. And because we added silence, there's plenty of room for that tail to exist. This issue will exist with reverb, delay, and echo type plugins. Note that you may need to normalize effects before exporting them. So in this case, I'm just going to go up to the Effect menu, select Normalize, select Yes for DC offset removal, and select Yes to normalize the maximum amplitude to -0.1 dB. I don't want to normalize my stereo channels independently, so I will leave that option unchecked. Once again, normalization is just going to increase the maximum amplitude of the file so that the sound is as loud as possible, whilst retaining the original waveform shape, so not adding any distortion. I can then export that sound file by going to File, Export Audio, and then saving it somewhere. I'm going to save this with descriptive names in the WAV file, which reflect the effects that I've added. Once again, the format should be WAV, and we do not require any metadata. We can then go and find that output file and just double check it. In the same way that we had to add silence at the end of that file there because of the echo, you may come across some plugins where the amplitude goes beyond the maximum amplitude and distortion occurs. So for example, if I open up that bell sound again, the original version, in Audacity, and then if I go ahead and add some equalization and just set it to be quite extreme, we can see that the amplitude of the waveform is now going past 100%. And it's making for quite a distorted sound. If I just undo that step, and if instead I go up to Effect and go to Amplify, I can then take the gain of this waveform down before adding that effect again. So I'm going to take the gain down by about 30 dB. And then I'm going to add that equalization once more. Finally, I'm going to normalize the sound. Go to File and Export. Now this issue of the waveform becoming distorted because of the amplitude going beyond 100% is something that you may find with a range of effects, such as extreme phaser, equalization, distortion, and different kinds of plugins that will add gain to that waveform. So just be wary of that. And if your waveform sounds like it's distorted in an unpleasant way, make sure that you go to Amplify and take down the gain before you add an effect. If we now go and find the output file, we can hear that the export worked correctly.